Hey, what's happening, everybody? It is JB, the Ranch Mechanic, coming at you for the first time in a very long time. I have not put out any new content in, I don't even know when the last time I posted a video was. It's been a good minute. But it is December 31st today, and I got myself some Christmas presents. As you can see, I've got a new toolbox stack here. I've been sort of operating just out of a little tool bag and a plastic toolbox mounted to the back of my four-wheeler because most of the stuff I do is mobile. But I'm finding more and more that I've been working out of the shop here. I work on all of our side-by-sides, all of our ATVs, well, we pull our trucks and telehandlers in here. And I'm finding more and more that it's just more convenient to have an actual tool chest. And my coworker has one. I've been kind of using some of his tools, which I don't like doing. I like having my own stuff in my own space. So I went ahead and got this set up. Now, I wasn't originally going to get one this wide. This is I believe the 44-inch toolbox. I was going to get the 26 top and bottom and call it good and maybe get the end locker for it. But after thinking about it a little bit more, I decided to go with a wider one because I use some pretty long pry bars on a regular basis, and it would be really nice to be able to put those in a drawer. And the 44-inch chest, the bottom chest comes with this nice long top drawer. So I don't have any tools in this yet. I literally just got it set up. I don't even have the locker bolted on yet. It's just hanging here by the little mount on the side. But I just want to kind of give you my first impressions on this thing. I was a little leery about buying a Harbor Freight box, but the US General Series 2 boxes have gotten some pretty good reviews. They seem to get pretty high praise on YouTube from other users. And I just thought that I would take a gamble. I got some really good prices. I use the Harbor Freight coupon database website. If you're not familiar with that, I will throw a link down in the description. But basically, the prices that I got, the bottom box is normally, I think, $4.99. I got it for $4.29. The top box is, I believe, $2.99. I got it for $2.69. And the side locker is usually $1.99. I got it for $1.69 as well. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. It's a pretty big investment for me just because, again, I'm operating out of a toolbox and a little bag. This is the first real major tool chest I've ever invested in, but so far I'm pretty happy. So let me start from the top and work my way down here and tell you what I like and what I don't like. All right, guys, so right away, the first thing you notice is this blue color. They just came out with that this year. My favorite color is blue. I absolutely love it. It's either between this, blue or black. I obviously chose the blue. It's this really nice, deep shade of royal blue. It kind of looks a little bit lighter on the camera than it is in person, but it's actually a very nice, deep, like electric blue color. It's really neat. So I love the color. And the second thing you'll notice is the new badging. And again, this doesn't mean squat. Some people don't even like badges at all on their stuff, so they'll pull these off. But I think that Harbor Freight is really stepping up their game. And instead of like the cheap Chinese labeling or the real cheap looking stickers and decals or whatever, this is pretty unique. They've got their own unique style and US General logos on everything now. I think it just looks a little classier than the old style US General stickers. I think that it's a step up for Harbor Freight. Next thing you'll notice, every single one of these drawers comes with a pre-cut drawer liner. I thought that was a nice touch. You don't typically see that, but they're actually, I haven't gone through these very much yet, other than to make sure all the drawers work, but they are form fit and form cut to each individual drawer, and every single drawer has one. And there's a nice deep little locking detent, which can actually, I'll get to the negative side of this in a second, but there's a nice little locking detent that holds the drawers shut after you push them all the way closed. Another thing you'll notice right here at the top are these nice gas struts that kind of hold the door up when it's in its open position. When it's closed, it's totally flat. As you open up the top lid, the struts work beautifully. The lid does not open up to 90 degrees, which kind of bugged me in the store when I was first looking at it because it just looks kind of weird having it hang open like that. But the reason for that is because I'm 6'4". This is a tall toolbox. If that thing was all the way vertical, it would be a stretch to reach it, but because it's sitting forward just a little bit, just a few inches off from 90 degrees, you can easily grab it and pull it closed. Next thing you'll notice right from the jump, all of the locks for these toolboxes are really nicely cut barrel keys with individual number markings on them, so if you ever lose one, you can call Harbor Freight and they'll send you more. Now, I don't think losing them is ever going to be an issue unless you're just a total klutz, because they've given me 3 keys for the upper box, 3 keys for the lower box, and 4 keys for the locker. So they give you plenty of spares. But every single lock mechanism for all of these drawers, for the upper chest, the lower chest, and the locker, are all these nice barrel keys. I think that's a nice touch. That's kind of a more secure way, a classier way of securing your toolbox. So thumbs up for that. Next thing you'll notice, the action of the drawers. Are these premium drawer slides? No, of course not. This is Harbor Freight. So you have a little bit of play. I mean, that's just kind of normal. That's the name of the game here. But the drawers are full extension drawers. They come all the way out, so you can get way into the back there and have everything organized. The action is very smooth, and like I mentioned earlier, you have this nice little detent that makes sure the doors don't, if you're moving the chest around, those doors aren't going to come open until you pop it loose. The caveat to that, which I'm going to get to here, if you just close the drawer like that and it's not pushed all the way shut, and you close this lid, the drawers will not lock. You need to make sure that detent is pushed all the way in. When you first pull these out, when you first get it, they're going to be a little sticky. I was a little bit miffed at first because I thought I got the box was tweaked or something, because they were actually pretty tough to open. But after you work them a little bit and get those detents broken in, they are very nice. And you'll come to appreciate the fact that you can load these things and then move it around without the drawers flying open on you. All right, working our way down to the bottom chest, the main chest. You have this nice wide top drawer. Again, all of these drawers are full extension, so you can get all the way to the back without having any problems. And you'll notice that on the bottom chest, the big top drawer here is a double slider. So you have dual ball bearing slides on each side. And that goes for the bottom drawer here as well, the small drawer. And the other big drawer. Very nice touch. Those will hold a lot of weight without binding or getting bogged down. And also you'll notice on the lower chest, they came out of the box pre-installed for whatever reason, so I don't know if this was a return or if they just include them like that from the factory, who knows. They do come with these for the top chest, but they have not been installed yet. But what I'm referring to are the drawer tags. You'll notice this white strip with a plastic cover on every single drawer pull. That's so you can either install magnetic tags or handwrite whatever labels you want in there and mark what is in what drawer. So that's kind of convenient. I don't plan on using them. I just think that as a mechanic, my personal preference is being familiar with my box and where everything is. So I'll probably end up pulling these tags out because I think it looks cleaner just having the plain aluminum handles. I think that looks a little bit nicer than having the plastic and the white deal behind it. Not that you can even really tell if you're just kind of walking by, but personal preference thing. But it is nice that they included those, so if that's something that you like, great, you can use them. If not, pull them out. Over in the locker here, you have a hanger bar that just sits on top here. That comes wrapped, and you have to just drop it in these 2 little hooks on either side. A little bit dark in there, I apologize for that. You also have 2 shelves that are movable. You have adjustable clips. You have a clip at each corner that will hold those up. I'll probably end up removing one of them completely and then dropping the other one down to here, because what I intend to do is I'll get a coat hanger and I'll hang my welding jacket, my helmet. I'll hang my jacket in there and then put the helmet and stuff down here. But you also have a nice drawer that is the same size as the other one over here in this corner, also with double ball bearing slides. So that's kind of nice. Again, another full extension drawer. So far, see, that's what happens. I don't have that bolted down yet. So I just tried to close that door and it rocked a little bit on me, which you need to be mindful of if you're putting this thing together. The hardware, it does come with all the hardware for that. I just haven't done it yet. Little bumpers to protect the edges of the toolbox next to it, and 4 bolts. 2 of them go in here and here, and the other 2 are down by the casters underneath. They go in there. So, pretty secure mounting setup. And then it's just hanging. There's little ears. You're not going to be able to tell, but there's little ears that kind of just hook over the top of the toolbox. There's 3 of them, and you can see them over here. They're on both sides, so if you wanted to, you could take this and hang it from the opposite side. I just chose to have it over here out of the way. So now, as far as your casters go, you have what look to be cast
I want to say cast aluminum, but I'm sure that's not aluminum. It's probably zinc or pot metal with a rubber surround. You have two 5-inch fixed casters on this side and two swivel locking casters on your drive side, which is where I have the handle mounted. So you can pivot the toolbox around that way. But so far, no issues with the casters. I mean, this is an old. I'm in a Quonset hut, basically, as it's our current shop right now. This floor is 100 years old. I mean, it's not good shape, concrete at all. So pretty rough getting it in here. I unloaded the truck back there and then wheeled everything over here, with the exception of the lockers, which it's pretty light coming out by itself unloaded, so I just carried that over. Probably shouldn't have, because I ended up slipping because it had plastic on it and dinged up the corner because I'm stupid. So note to self, have a buddy help you when you're moving this stuff. So now I gotta try to find some rattle can or something that matches this color and touch that up so it doesn't rust, because I'm sure it will. It's just bare steel there now. Anyway, all right, so that's the basic layout of the tool chest and the locker and the top box. What don't I like about this thing so far? Well, honestly, not too much. I was really concerned that I was going to have problems with this thing when I got it back here, because there's no Harbor Freight in my location. I filled up every square inch of my the bed of my Silverado driving this thing back from Salt Lake. I got this, and I also got a 5-door mechanics cart, which I'll do a separate video on. So there was literally no room for anything. The problem with the way they package these things is that there's no way to unbox the stuff and check it and then put the boxes back together. Like, once you take the covers off, like, you got styrofoam falling out, you've got padding and stuff that falls out, and it's just impossible to open it, check it, and then put it back together unless you want to make a huge mess. If I lived 5 minutes from Harbor Freight and I could do that in the parking lot and I didn't have to worry about repacking anything if it was in good shape, then I would have done that. But because I had to drive this thing for 4 hours back from the Harbor Freight store in Salt Lake, I did not want to do that and risk getting it damaged bouncing around the bed of the truck. So I took a gamble. I left without checking it. Turns out everything's okay, with the exception of one little thing. The door right here, you'll notice there's a little bit of the bottom of the hinge there is popping back and forth. And that's because something's tweaked. I haven't had a chance to look at it in any kind of detail yet. I'm sure it'll be an easy fix. I'll just need to bend something, maybe tap on something with a hammer, or loosen up a hinge or whatever, and just get it reset. So something obviously shifted or got slightly tweaked in shipping. And by shipping, I mean during my drive back. So I'll have to fix that, but I mean, it doesn't affect the door at all. I mean, look at that. The door closes just fine. It's just, it pops when you get it past about, 90 degrees. And you can probably see it down there. It's right here. It's this bottom half of the hinge. So there's just Phillips head screws that hold that on. So I might just pull that out, loosen it, and then see if I can retighten it and get it to quit doing that. So anyway, that's that. The only other thing that I don't really care for about this box is the locking mechanism on the main tool chest. Because of the actuator bar it uses, it's really clunky. And I had problems with this thing when I first, you can hear that. I had problems with this thing when I first tried to unlock it and open it. I'm not having any problems with it now. It seems to be fine now that I've kind of cycled it a few times. But out of the box, I was wondering whether or not that was going to last. So we'll have to give it time and see how it does. Other than that, what do you get with these things? I already mentioned the pre-cut drawer liners. You get your labels for the drawer pulls if you want to use them. You also get a handle. You get one handle with the main box. And then for the top box, it actually comes with two handles. I've only put on the one so far, because this is the side with the pivoting casters, so I'll steer it from this end. And over there are cutouts so you can mount a handle on the side of the locker right there, but there's no room for it anyway, so I'm not going to bother. And then I could put another grab handle up here, which I still might do. It's kind of stupid having two of them there, but it also looks better than having a big empty space here with holes in it. But the handles are actually pretty nice. Let's see if I can get one out here while we're chatting about them. Bear with me.
Here we go. I was actually pretty impressed with these. I mean, these are good looking handles. So you got your U.S. General logo right there. There's locator tabs on the outside, those little dowels that stick out, and then your screws. There's I think they're 5mm cap head screws, Allen wrench screws that secure those on there. It comes with all the hardware and everything. So those just lock in place. You'll just index it using those little tabs, and it just fits right on there. So I'm actually pretty impressed with the handles. Now, would I like it better if the ends were, metal? Sure. I mean, right, you can tell it's chrome coated plastic. So a hard blow to one of those things will probably end up cracking it. But I do have, even if I put this one on, I still have an extra. So if I really jack it up, then I can just yank one off and replace it. And Harbor Freight will probably sell me some of these if I really need them. But anyway. So you get your handles, you get your pre-cut drawer liners. These little plastic dealies are the caps that go on the drawer pulls to hold the plastic in place. These guys right here, if you decide to use these labels, which I probably won't. I'll probably end up pulling all these out, like I mentioned earlier. But so far, I'm really happy with it. I'll have to see how it performs when I get it loaded up with my tools. I have a whole bunch of brand new tools that I got for Christmas sitting over at my house. So far, I really like it. I think that U.S. General / Harbor Freight has really stepped up their game with these new toolboxes. I had my coworker, the other mechanic here at the ranch, look this thing over and just tell me his opinion. And this guy's been turning wrenches for 30 years, and he had $20,000 invested in Snap-on tool cabinets and boxes in his heyday. He doesn't anymore. But he looked this thing over and he said that if he could have bought something like this when he was starting out and not spent, $5 or $6 grand on a Snap-on box when he was first getting into it, he would have absolutely done it. So for my needs, I think this is going to be perfect. If you're just starting out in the repair, technician, mechanic industry, whether you do automotive or you do field and ranch work like I do, heavy equipment, stuff like that, I really think that this is a great way to go. Time will tell whether or not these things are going to hold up in the long run, but for right now, I'm very, very happy. And I don't make enough money to justify spending 10 or 15 grand just on toolboxes. If I'm going to spend that much money on anything, it's going to be on tools probably. So we'll see what happens. But right now, everything is good. I've got it situated. I've got it all put together with the exception of bolting that locker on, which I'm going to do right now. And other than that, I'm really happy with this. So anyway, I hope you all had a Merry Christmas or a Happy Hanukkah or whatever holiday you celebrate. If you don't celebrate anything at all, I hope that you have had a nice season at least. And I wish all of you guys the best going into 2019. Happy New Year. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and click like. If you want to know more about what I do, there will be more content coming up in 2019. I'm also going to have a quick review and assembly video on my 5-drawer mechanics tool cart, also the same color, U.S. General from Harbor Freight. So hit subscribe if you want to see any of that or if you're interested. We are in the process of building a nice brand new shop, so eventually all this will get moved down to the new building. Once that's done, I'm going to have a nice area to do a lot more filming, probably be able to do a lot more of the day-to-day stuff. I'll get a couple of GoPros and just kind of film what I do, let you guys kind of have a look at life on a cattle ranch for a field mechanic. So anyway, if that's something that interests you, again, hit subscribe. Follow along, and there'll be more to come. Again, thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Shoot me a message. Happy New Year. See ya.